2780 Safety Clinic. The anatomy of a rescue. First response. Get the victim. Make sure that he and you are both wearing PFDs. Keep his head above water. Get to a safe place of minimal wind and current. If close to shore, get to shore. One person is in charge. Others can help by collecting the victim's floating gear. (2780) Top 10 Do's and Don'ts. Do. Get friendly with your PFD. It wants to save your life. Learn to put it on in the water. Learn to swim in it. Learn its shortcomings. And if they are too much to bear, apologize and replace it with something better. Do get to know your kayak at its worst. Roll it over. See how much water it actually takes on. Swim it to shore. Learn to empty it by yourself. Climb in when it's empty. Climb in when it's full. Pump it out. If you own a sit on top, have someone pat you on the back for not having to do all this. Do. Make sure you carry basic safety equipment. PFD, whistle, bow painter 6 to 10 feet long, sponge, pump or baler, appropriate light for night travel, etc., etc. Every paddling manual has a list. Do wear sensible shoes. Ones that protect the sides of your feet. Ones you can swim in if you have to. Ones that won't be sucked off your feet in the mud. Don't even think about flip-flops. Do stay low in your boat. Almost all upsets are caused by some kind of balance infraction. Keeping your hands on the edges of your coaming greatly reduces the risk of going over while entering or getting out of your kayak. Some methods of turning your kayak from upside down to right side up. To all those that got wet during this event, you are heroes. Next time, I'd like to get wet and let someone else hold the camera. Nicely done. And we know it's possible now. Don't give up. He makes it look so easy. Assisted kayak emptying. Turned the victim's kayak upside down. Then arrange for the victim's kayak to be perpendicular to the rescuer's kayak. Pull it onto the rescuer's kayak deck to empty the water. Then flip it back upright. Assisted kayak reentry. Heel hook method. Line up the kayaks next to each other, facing in opposite directions. The victim reaches over his own kayak and grips the rescuer's kayak, while the rescuer stabilizes the victim's kayak. The victim pulls his body on his rear deck and swings his leg inside the cockpit, hooking his heel inside the cockpit under the front deck. As the victim pulls himself on the rear deck, the rescuer must very firmly stabilize the victim's kayak. The victim moves both legs into the cockpit and carefully turns himself around into a sitting position. 2780 Top 10 Do's and Don'ts. Don't teeter. A kayak with its bow pulled too far up a sloping shore is unstable. Getting in or out of it may cause you an embarrassing dunking at a launch spot. Don't grab limbs or bushes while you are in the current. This is a frequent cause of upsets. If you hold on too long, the current will pull your boat away from you. When you let go, you will fall out. Learn to get under those obstacles by leaning straight forward or straight back. And remember to take your hat off as you approach such hazards. Reaching desperately over the side or behind you to retrieve it is another good way to get wet. We all knew you could do it. Don't hesitate when paddling around bends and obstacles in current. Steering strokes only work if you are moving faster or slower than the water you are floating on. Don't bunch up with other kayakers when approaching an obstacle that must be carefully negotiated. By plowing ahead into the group, you may compound an already difficult situation. When you see boats stopped ahead of you, pull over in a safe spot and inch your way ahead until you can find out what is going on. Don't try to keep your feet dry. The gyrations you put yourself through in order to do this almost guarantee that you will swim. The assisted rodeo or cowboy reentry. This one is tough if you have a rudder. Now, the really hard part. Wait, what's this no hands thing? I thought this was assisted. That was his fault, Frank. Now we revisit the assisted kayak reentry heel hook method. This is probably as good a place as any to say thanks to Ted Nylander of Native Water Sports for all of his assistance. Thanks, Ted. Nicely done, Frank. Paddle float re-entry. Using your buddy's kayak to roll back up. Nicely done. The chow was fabulous.